Hey, are you a business owner, entrepreneur, or professional? If so, we want you to apply to be a featured guest on our show. My name is Adam Torres, and I host the Mission Matters series of podcasts. I've recorded over 3,000 episodes, and we are just getting started. How do you know if you'd be a good guest to be on the show? Well, only one way to find out, and that's to apply, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We want guests that have a story to tell, guests with a brand, a product, or a service that can benefit my audience of listeners. If this sounds like you, go to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. I'd love to talk to you and get to know more about your story. Again, head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Marketing Podcast, your source for all things marketing. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Katie Brinkley on the line, and she's a social media strategist and founder of Next Step Social Communications. Katie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Adam.
So, Katie, I'm excited to get into today's topic. So, the three biggest mistakes small businesses make with social media and how to avoid them. I'm sure I'm probably making one of these mistakes, so I'm excited to get into this and to learn from you. But before we do that, for context, let's go a little bit further into what you're doing over at Next Step Social Communications. Tell us a little bit more about your company, please.
Yeah, so I have founded Next Step Social Communications to help small businesses learn how to do social media the right way. I also offer done-for-you social media, so I create content and email campaigns and Facebook ads, Instagram ads for the real estate, home builder, and construction industry. So it's kind of fun being able to really dive into all the different elements around the house. And so I do the done-for-you social media for that industry, and then offer consulting and coaching for small businesses and entrepreneurs, which really has presented itself during this pandemic of COVID-19, where people realized the benefit of social media, but just didn't know how to do it the right way, or thought that it didn't work for them. Social media, I hear that all the time. Well, social media doesn't work for me or my business. And it's just, if you do it the right way, it can be such an asset. And so I was able to kind of pivot some of my services into this coaching realm and offer coaching and consulting on learning how to do social media the right way.
Man, that's so exciting, and I love that, because what you're doing is you're letting more people be able to benefit from this and to benefit from your knowledge. So I'm a big fan of people that also add that coaching component to it, because I understand for some clients they want to do it themselves. Some they get into it and they're like, oh, you know what, this is a little bit more than I thought, Katie. So what does it take for you to just take this off my hands? Because I don't want to learn how to do this anymore.
Exactly.
For those type of individuals, because I'm going to give you an opportunity at the end of this, by the way, to leave either website or social media, wherever you want to direct traffic or people that want to learn more. But I do want to make sure that the right types of individuals and or organizations connect with you and your team. What's typically a good fit to work with you?
Well, if you're interested in learning how to do social media and doing it yourself, but just, again, don't really know where to begin or how to do it, any small business or entrepreneur is someone that I work with, because I am an entrepreneur myself. And it's one of the things of, if you can do it yourself and have the passion behind it, then, you take it and run with it. So I love helping any entrepreneur in small business, if they want to learn how to do it the right way and want to devote the time and effort into social media. I'll work with just about anyone from a coaching standpoint. But if you're interested in having me do it for you, again, I work with the home construction, the home industry, so home organizers, realtors, commercial real estate, home builders, and the construction side of it, so HVAC and roofers. So anything that has to do with building a home or being put inside of it or organizing it, those are the type of people that I do the done-for-you social media for.
That's awesome. So let's move on to today's topic. So the three biggest mistakes small businesses make with social media and how to avoid them. So when I'm sure I'm making some of these mistakes. I mean, my team they're better than I am on this stuff, but I'm not claiming I understand it all. So let's just start with mistake number one. What are we doing wrong, Katie?
Well, the first mistake that I see so many businesses make is that they are on too many or the wrong social media channels. So many times I see businesses going out there and thinking that they need to be on every single social media channel. And a lot of times it doesn't make sense, because then once you're going on, let's say you're a photographer or a home organizer, it's a very visual platform. So being on Instagram is a great platform for those type of industries. Whereas if you're a B2B or something that's not quite as appealing visually, Facebook or LinkedIn could be great for you. So I think a lot of times people think that they need to be on every single social media channel known to mankind, instead of just focusing their efforts on the right ones. And if you're able to focus your time and effort on the right social media channels, you're going to see more leads and you're going to have the right type of followers. Again, another problem that I see a lot of small businesses make is they just copy and paste the same type of content on every single social media channel, on Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. It's like, why would someone want to follow you on all those channels if they're getting the same type of content? If you can change up the type of content that you're putting out on every channel, then it gives your potential followers a reason to follow you on more than just one channel. So they follow you on Facebook for their news, and then they follow you on Instagram for the pictures of the new home that you're building, and then they follow you on LinkedIn to see what's going on with your employees at your company. Give people a reason to follow you on each specific channel, and make sure it is the right channels.
No, I love it. So what is the next mistake that we're making?
The mistake number two that I see is the lack of strategy and consistency. And I see far too many small businesses jumping onto any and every social media platform, throwing out a few random posts here and there, and then disappearing for days, weeks, or even months at a time. I like to explain it as if you're in real life. Imagine if in real life you're walking into a room full of strangers and started asking people some questions, and then you ran out the door and left while they were trying to give you an answer. It seemed really silly, right? So that's exactly what a lot of small businesses do on social media. They show up, they start talking or asking questions, and then leave the party and don't stick around or show up consistently to engage. And this is what I see time and time again. Companies dive into a platform and start doing ads and start doing posts, and then they don't even have a strategy in place to begin with. And then they, again, get discouraged because they haven't seen any results come from it. And so then they just give up and walk away. And a lot of times it's the exact same way. Your audience that has followed you then it's like, well, I could have sworn I used to see posts from this company all the time, and now I don't see anything. I'm just going to unfollow them. Or if you do jump back into the party weeks or months later, you've lost their interest. So posting with intention and having a consistent strategy around your presence on each social media platform.
Man, Katie, you brought some great tips today. These are so good. These are so good. And, like, I see this so often, and I'm not laughing because I think it's a good thing. I just mean, I'm laughing out of pain for all the people that are listening. Like, I've been through all this pain, and I spent years learning the things that Katie's just giving you in this nice bite-sized nugget. Like, you know how much money and years and time we spent as a company figuring all this stuff out, and we didn't have somebody that was just like Katie that's like, oh, do this, this, and this, and this is how you do it. Like, this is so awesome what you're doing. I love that you do the coaching side too. So let me see. I might be losing track of tips. Do we have one tip left? I think we did, didn't we?
We do. We have one more tip left.
Let's do it. I was so excited about the first two. I'm like, wait a minute. Do we get more? Tell us some more.
Yeah, and this is I think the most important one. It's the not being social on social media. It's
so true.
It is so true. It is called social media for a reason. And I'm going to use another analogy here. If you've ever been to a dinner party and you found yourself trapped in a conversation with someone who doesn't stop talking about himself, you look around like, good Lord, please somebody come and save me. Come to my rescue, and no one will come and save you. And this other person has you, cornered. They just keep prattling on about his or her life story and never even asking you a single question about yourself, about what you do or how your life is going or what challenges or problems you're dealing with. And those are the worst type of conversations. And I see so many small businesses take that approach on social media. All they do is talk about themselves. Hey, look at me. Look at what I do. This is what I'm selling. Buy from me. And you have to look at it as a two-way street. You have to see social media as social. If someone leaves a comment on a post, answer them. Say, hey, I love you. I'm glad that you love this open concept kitchen. What's your favorite feature of it? And then start a conversation with them. And I mean, the knowledge that you'll get back from your audience and on social media, you can craft, an entire campaign about, that stemmed from a conversation that started in one of your, social media feed, groups from an image that you posted or a link that you shared. And just trying to bring the social aspect back to your social media account makes such a difference, and it'll build such a community around your brand. Again, people might not necessarily be needing to buy something from you right now, especially like with what I do, and it's for home builders. Someone follows our page and likes the post, and it follows us because they're looking for a home. Let's say they then go buy a home. We want them to continue following our page. So you can't just still be talking all about you and what home is for sale. Provide value and share tips and tricks and join the conversation with those people that are following your accounts to bring the social back to social media.
Wow, what a great idea. And it's so, as you were building that out, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, wow, I had to really think about it. And I'm like, every single product, so Mission Matters as a company, as a media company, every single thing that we've ever created as a product that we offer or a service or anything else we do, was all based off of feedback from social media. Every single thing. Crazy. Yeah. Like as you were saying that, I was going through and I'm like, do we do that? And I'm like, every single one. And the thing is if you're, and I'm not saying this is an extreme example. Obviously, everybody can't do this. For a media company, it's a little different. But so you, but the only reason I'm using us as an example to illustrate is that the data that you get, it's invaluable. You're so much more likely to succeed if you're looking at you don't have to worry about every audience in the world or what everybody wants. Just worry about the people that are following you now. Worry about the people that you have their attention and that want to do business with you now, and see if you can solve a pain point for them in their lives. And if you can, guess what? They'll give you money for it. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And if you, again, just listen to your audience, ask those questions and build that community around your business on social media, and you'll be amazed at what you can learn and how you can provide a better service for your audience and for your followers. And Adam, I'm going to give you one bonus tip here.
Oh, I love bonuses.
And it's such an easy, it's so important because I think that so many businesses, big and small, fall into this trap, and they get so caught up in the vanity metrics. They worry so much about how many followers they have. And my bonus tip today is don't get caught up in the vanity metrics. It's important. Let's say you have a page with 6,000 followers, but only really 100 of them are true leads. Focus in on having the right followers, not a ton of the wrong followers, because you can build and sell to those 100 people if you only have 100 likes. And they're really engaged, and they're answering your questions, and they're, joining your webinars, and they're engaging with your page. Those 100 people, it makes so much more sense to focus in on having the right followers instead of a lot of followers.
Yeah, you can build a big business off of 100 of the right types of raving fans. You can build a big business with the right type of 100 people that, for whatever your niche is, because I always tell people, I'm like, the social media doesn't have to be the end-all, be-all, especially with these vanity metrics that you're talking about. It's like, if you have 100 people, think about if social media didn't exist and you had 100 clients that loved you or people that were engaged in whatever you were doing. They have friends, they have people, they'll introduce you, like they have referrals. Just think of the old school way. They have like a network, right? Like you can infinite like introductions and other things you can do with cultivating 100 relationships in your life. You'd be so lucky to do that. Social media just makes it easier, in my opinion, because then people can raise their hand a little bit at the right time, and you can find out other ways to just make the relationship deeper. So I love it. I think these are all amazing, amazing tips, Katie. And that being said, I could talk to you about this all day long, and I know we just scratched the surface on what it looks like to create. We didn't even get into like what a campaign looks like, but that's a whole another discussion. So that being said, Katie, if somebody is listening to this right now and they want more information either on the coaching side or they want to talk more about the company overall and how to engage, what's the best way for people to follow up and to connect with you and your team?
You can visit my website at nextstepsocialcommunications.com. You can follow me on all the social media channels, Next Step Social Communications on Facebook, next.step.social on Instagram, and connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm linkedin.com/Katie Brinkley, and I'm always providing a lot of great tips and statistics and just better ways to bring the social back to your social media.
Oh, I love it. Bring the social back to your social media. You're so good. Well, Katie, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the stuff you're doing to help your clients. So great stuff out there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, and you're a first-time listener, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. We love to have you be a return listener, of course. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Marketing, definitely hit the subscribe button there. But also leave us some comments in the video. We'd love to keep the conversation going in the YouTube community. Don't let it end here with just listening to the podcast episode. And Katie, thanks again for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks so much for having me.